Yo, what is going on, guys? It's your buddy Double D, and today we're going to get right back into it with our series that we're doing called PVE 101, where I go over talents and skill setups and weapon choices for classes in Tom Clancy's The Division, aka the tank, the DPS, and the healer, so that you guys are ready to jump into a group with all of your friends on Tuesday when incursions drop and run right through it with no problem and get all that great high-end loot. So let's go ahead and take a look at the class that we're going to be examining today, and we're going to look at the combat medic, aka the healer. Now, bear in mind, a lot of the gear that I have is not set up for this class, but we're going to go over the concepts and what you need to focus on anyways, so that you guys know what you're looking for as far as gear and talent choice goes. So let's jump right into it. We're going to go ahead and look at the skills and the talents first, because those are going to be the biggest things for this class. Now, obviously, being a combat medic, our job is to make sure that people don't die and that we can revive people very easily. So we're going to be taking a look at some things that will facilitate that for us and just kind of help the group overall survive, which is good. So jumping right into it, we're obviously going to be taking two choices from the medical wing. We are going to be taking first aid and support station. Now, for our first aid mod, we're going to be using defibrillator. We're not going to use overdose because overdose, even though it increases the healing, I think that being able to revive somebody from range, you know, you get that gung-ho member that's like, oh, I can take the entire instance. They run out in the middle of like 9,000 enemies, and damn, now nobody can get to them to revive them, and they go down, and then it takes even longer to revive them. It's just a giant clusterfuck that nobody wants to deal with. So with defibrillator, you're just going to be able to shoot them with your first aid, and it's going to revive them. So that's going to be very helpful. You know, overdose, healing more efficiently is always nice, but like I said, I think the practicality of defibrillator is much better. And booster shot is nice for the damage resistance and damage buff, but if you watched my DPS class setup, the DPS are probably going to be running this one, so you don't really need to worry about that. As far as support station goes, I chose Immunizer because it's going to drop a recovery station that removes status effects and makes allies immune while within the affected area. That means, you know, when you get on fire or when you get electrocuted or whatever, you know, we don't really know anything about incursions. It's all speculation at this point. So we don't know if it's just, you know, if the difficulty is going to be scaled by giving the enemies more health and higher damage, or if there are going to be certain mechanics like exploding barrels and shocking floors and things like that, things that could be really irritating. So that's something that we'll have to see on Tuesday when the incursions drop. But for right now, I'm going to go with Immunizer. It's going to give a healing rate of 403 hit points per second, which obviously is going to scale with your skill power. And we'll get into that in a little bit. You could use life support, but I feel like having a revival station that automatically revives anyone who's in the area is a little redundant when paired with defibrillator. So, you know, that's your personal choice, whatever you guys want to mix and match, but those are the two that I would recommend. Very obviously, we're going to be using Recovery Link as our skill, a signature skill, and that's just another way you can revive down allies, heal everybody to full. It's basically like a giant group heal and group revive. I do not have that unlocked, as you see, but I will get to that probably by the end of the weekend if I have time. I am out of town. So let's go ahead and jump into the talents, because this is going to be really important for us, and this is going to help us heal much more efficiently. Up at the top, you're going to see this one, Triage, and Triage is kind of broken right now at the moment because pretty much everybody that you heal, I believe, is going to reduce your cooldown by 15%. So you get a group that stands together, and I'm going to do a PvP video with this skill later, because me and my friends were just standing in a group, and we were just basically spam healing each other, and we were kind of invincible. It was really funny. But heal an ally with a skill to reduce the heal an ally with a skill to reduce skill cooldowns by 15%. So that's going to be huge, and it's going to not only reduce the healing skill cooldown, but the other ones as well. So we're going to jump right down here. The one that we're going to use on the second tier is going to be Battle Buddy. Revive a downed agent to reduce incoming damage by 50% for 10 seconds for both players. Now, that's going to be huge. Like I said, you get, Captain Rambo out there who wants to go die in the middle of a group and someone's got to go revive him, you're the one to do it. You're going to pop all your cooldowns, you're going to get an overshield, and you're going to run out and revive him, and then you're going to survive because you're going to have a 50% damage reduction after you do that. So that's really handy. In the third tier, we're going to be using critical save, use a med kit during low health to increase damage resistance by 40% for 10 seconds, and then combat medic, use a medkit near allies to heal group members and proxies within 20 meters by 40%. So that's going to let your medkits heal people near you. It's going to give you a 40% blanket increase in your medkit heal. Critical save, obviously key for when you get low and you pop it for an oh shit moment, which is really when you should save your medkits. Depending on your hit point setup, it's going to heal you almost to full and then give you a 40% damage resistance. So these two, one of the things that you're going to notice is these two right here are kind of mandatory for pretty much any class that you're going to play. They're just too good not to use. And that's just kind of the way the talents are set up right now. Hopefully in the future they will either buff some of these other ones so that they're up to par, or I don't know what they would do, but hopefully that'll change because it's not a lot of diversity right now. You have 4 slots available, but really you only have 2 because, like I said, these are crucial. So make sure you pick those up, and as again I said, I would go Battle Buddy and Triage after that for the group healing. So we're going to back out and we're going to look at what you should be looking at as far as weapon choices and stat priority as a healer. So you can see, again, this is my DPS setup, and I don't really have any other setups other than that, but we'll talk a little bit about what you should be looking for and what you should be equipping to play a successful combat medic in a group situation. Obviously, skill power is going to be your primary stat. It's going to increase the efficiency of all of your healing abilities and decrease their cooldowns as well. So the more efficient you heal, the more often you heal, the easier it is to keep your group alive. After that, you're going to want to focus on stamina, aka your health, because you don't do anybody any good when you are dead. The other thing that you want to focus on too, that some people tend to miss out on when they're just starting to play, is the armor rating. You want to make sure that you're reaching that armor cap of what I believe is 60% damage mitigation. And one of the ways that you can currently do that right now pretty easily is equipping something with the Reckless talent, because it's bugged. It says increase damage by 12.5% and increase incoming damage by 10%. However, that is incorrect. It decreases incoming damage by 10%. So, yeah, that's the thing. So if you go over to my character right now, let's go down to durability. It's survivability, but durability is more fun to say. You see, I'm almost at I'm about 9% away from the cap. So that's going to be a big thing, because no matter how many hit points you have, if you don't have a decent armor rating, you're going to find yourself getting shredded pretty quickly, and I can only assume that things in the incursion are going to hit like a truck. So you want to make sure that you've got that armor rating up pretty high. As far as your weapon choices, you're going to want to run either an assault rifle like the Caduceus, which has skill-based talents, such as Cool-Headed. Performing a headshot reduces all skill cooldowns by 5.5%. And Restored and Self-Preserve, so really just Cool-Headed. But that's going to let you obviously use your skills more often. A Marksman rifle is another good choice, just because it's going to let you do damage from far away. I personally, if I was running this class setup, I would be using a light machine gun to suppress hostile enemies from far away. And again, one of the things that you have to understand about the I guess, theory crafting, or the concept of a combat medic, is you're not really trying to do DPS. You've got people in your group built to do tons and tons of DPS, but take 0 damage. So your job is to mitigate the damage that they're taking through heals, but also your placement and things like that. So if you can sit back with a light machine gun and kind of take pop shots at people and suppress them and make them stay behind cover, you're going to create a better situation for your DPS, where they're not going to have 10 to 12 guys shooting at them all at once. So Recap real quick, you're going to want to focus on skill power first, followed by stamina and armor. Your DPS is the very last thing that you're going to be focusing on. I personally would use a light machine gun and a marksman rifle, but you can use an assault rifle instead of one of those. Just make sure that it's one that has something that affects your skill. There are tons of talents out there that do it. As far as talents go, we'll jump right back in real quick. These bottom two are mandatory: critical save and combat medic. You've got to have them. And then these two, you know, if you really want to focus more on the combat, I suppose you could swap them out with something. But this is triage, in my opinion, is going to be huge for healing the group and reducing those cooldowns. And battle buddy, you know, if you get in a oh shit situation, it's really going to help out a lot. As far as your skills go, defibrillator and immunizer. God, I can't say that word. I can't word. Sorry. But these two are going to be huge. If you want to swap something out, for example, if you want to use overdose instead of defibrillator, you can use overdose here and then life support here. So you're still going to be able to revive people without actually getting to them via your life support station. But that's my setup. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I apologize for the kind of rushed video, but again, I am out of town on work. I'm just trying to get this content out for you guys so you can get your daily division fix. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a thumbs up. It helps me get my content out there, and we are still a new and growing channel. I appreciate all of the awesome support I've gotten from you guys over the last couple of days, and I cannot wait for 1.1. Tomorrow we will be taking a look at the tank class. Again, there are no thumbnails for any of these videos because I don't have my computer with me, but I'll upload some good thumbnails when I get home on Monday. Till next time, guys, catch you later. Double D out.